there seems to be a movement towards the compartmentalization of things, which I'm going to push a little bit deeper in order to bring it back together in a different way. So there's the story part, the talking part, and you see that as quite young. It's kind of primitive or undeveloped, not sophisticated.
Blocky, tries to know everything.
Okay.
Kind of boring, mechanical in its abilities, because it keeps repeating.
Keeps repeating, yes.
Comparativeness,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. So its bandwidth is very narrow.
Yeah,
Right?
that's for sure.
And its tools are dualistic only, because language
Yep,
is dualistic.
yep.
Okay? So its bandwidth is narrow. Now, the visual component, that part of comprehension, is much wider. It's not limited by dualistic language.
Say that again.
The imagery.
Okay, may I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Ever since this happened last week,
Yes.
it hasn't stopped.
Yes.
Thoughts are, I'm pointing to the top of my head, it's not, it's somewhere in, around
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Thoughts are there
Yes.
and images are there.
Yes.
But there's other images which are the ones that happen on their own that are much closer to the dream state,
Okay.
which I'll start meditating, and if I drop thought and I drop deep enough into the stillness, all of a sudden movies will start.
Okay.
This is of a different bandwidth, and
Yes,
this is more
indeed.
like the mind.
That's thinking kind of stuff up
Yeah.
at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's in the front?
Third eye.
Yeah, but what's the
Oh, well,
characteristic of those movies?
They're
Do they have meaning? Do they have beginning, middle, and end?
yeah, okay. Sometimes I'll just see a landscape and I'll be moving around a landscape.
Right.
Sometimes characters will appear.
Okay.
At night, the dreams seem to have meaning. During the day, I don't even call this lucid dreaming anymore. It seems beyond dreaming. It makes no sense, nor do I care to make sense of it.
Yeah, okay. All right. It doesn't make sense. It's just images filtering through. Good. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like images that prove that there's no me.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because
yes.
I couldn't.
Yes.
Who's talking to me,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So you've got the images that we can call them thoughts, or we can actually, let's keep it with images because okay, you've got that part. Then there's the frequency of life, the freshness of life. And to really feel life, you have to be in the present moment. There can't be memory running. I don't like the present moment thing too much, but there can't be memory running.
Okay.
To taste that essence of aliveness,
Yes.
it's completely, it's instant. Yeah. There's you can't be cruising around like, I think I'll have a cup of tea. I mean, you will not, you
Right.
can't touch into that frequency of aliveness,
Yep.
right? Because it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It takes it all.
It's the roar.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So there's that. Now, the perception that's running through your form, that's what this is really about. The perception brings it all together, uses them all as different faculties, each offering their own area of expertise. They've started to split up, which is great. But there's a thread that runs through them. You can call it functioning. The motivation of functioning runs through them and picks up what it needs. But your perception, the perception that runs through your form, which is perception itself, not, it can be a localized perception because it's in the body mind of the Richard character. That's the only thing that makes it local. All right? So the localized perception registers somewhere within in a global scale. Now, the aliveness is registering globally. The visual is kind of coming and going between the two, and the story is local only.
That makes sense.
All right? So something is getting sick of the local only, because the global is wonderful, of course.
Yeah.
The global is wonderful. where I'd like to see you going is seeing how that each of them is a different self-contained unit, self-contained toolkit used by functioning, picked up, dropped
Toolkit?
down,
Okay.
right?
I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out the word toolkit. Could you go back? I got it.
Oh, yeah,
But I
okay.
missed what you were saying.
Okay.
Each of them is like a separate toolkit
Yes.
in the midst of pure perception running through this body mind.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So if it's I perceive this, there'll be, of course, for the Richard character, it's a huge wow when perception opens or when you see something new or something fresh.
Right.
Of course, it's a huge wow. So that's the local part
Seeing the global.
having a
part.
response to the global,
Yes.
right? Because it's the global stuff that gives you the wow now. You know, it's the
Yes.
stuff that has not a personal reference really, or
Well, even there was just one moment of difference where from what you just said, where all of a sudden I went, thoughts. Oh my God.
Yes.
Even just a thought was
just thoughts.
anything at that
Yes.
moment would be a miracle because it was appearing as existence.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, but it's.
But
so
most of the time, it is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It is. There's a localized, I don't know, shadow of Richard. Is that
yes,
what I would say?
Yes.
Richard
and I want to
doesn't.
line these up.
Okay.
Where is the localized, and where is the global, and how do these function as a unit, smoothly?
Well, often they do, and then often they don't.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move towards they do.
Yeah.
Okay, so, it's got to do with the local and the global. So when a thought comes in and it's wowed, the content of the thought would make it local. But when there is that's a thought, you know what the thought is about, but actually more of it is seen as a thought rather than the content of the thought. So you have more of a global view of the nature of thought rather than the local content of the thought talking to you.
Okay.
Yeah?
And behind that is a frequency.
Yeah, it is a.
So
yeah.
lost would be in context following thought. This is a step back further, which is happening most of the time now.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is recognize that's a thought. That's what that is.
Yes.
Without the content, it doesn't matter what the content is.
Doesn't matter what the content is.
Thought is happening
Yes.
at this moment.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
behind that, there's like a realization, this is just an energy form.
That's right. It's just
appearing
energy
as thought.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the localized machine, this body, mind, intellect organism, has the capacity to make everything local, particularized, has the capacity to pull it into subject-object.
Yes.
And how it does that is it loves to make meaning out of things.
Yes.
So if the global recognizes thought, the part that wants meaning will go into story to give it meaning. Because the meaning part is the localized perceiver.
It seems to do two things. I'm sorry to interrupt. It seems to do two things. It seems to do that. It's amazing. This thing about just thought is really,
Yeah.
it's like a place to rest.
Yes.
Yes, it's like a place to, it's like an oasis. Oh, I don't have to, you know what I mean? I don't have to deny that there's thought. It's thought.
Yeah.
And also I can stay with it. But it also, Mike will appreciate this, it has the ability to create thought image or thought, it's the feeling that it creates. That's its real power is the Velcro. Boom, you know what I mean? It's that. You were saying at the moment when the thought occurs, and this, I can go one of two ways. I can rest in the thought, or I could follow the story.
Sure. The localized perception, a faculty that's in the body mind, will look for meaning, so it will go to the content of the story. So when there's content in the story, it's one of two things. It's either functioning that has picked it up. This is the healthy one. This is where I want to steer you to. Functioning has picked it up in order to function, in order to play its part in whatever is happening in this movie.
Yes.
Okay? And so we understand each other. There's communication happening here.
I'm listening to you.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you're nodding or
Right.
saying something and I'm nodding. And so something is functioning is happening here.
Yes.
All right. So it's almost like there's a. It's like, let's make it linear. All right. Let's go make it linear. It's like the trajectory of what you are can pick up all of it. It goes through the global zone. It goes through the visual. Yeah, it goes through the.
This is natural flow.
It's a flow. It's a
This
flow.
is natural flow, yes.
Yeah. This is what we're talking about. In the flow. In the flow. Be fluid about it. It's encouraging
And it
this.
picks up all the colors, and it picks
does.
up all the words, and it picks up
does.
everything. Yeah.
And for functioning, the functioning then goes in and picks up the dualistic language and all the rest of it.
In order
when
to
it's
func-
needed,
that
in
makes
order
sense.
to function.
Yes, that makes sense.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, it refines itself so that there is an ability to pick up whatever tools you need along the way,
Yes.
along this trajectory.
Toolbox. Okay.
Right, toolboxes, different
Yeah.
types of toolboxes.
Yes.
Okay, and from what you described, there's 3 toolkits that you're very aware of.
Right.
Okay, so there's the alive, global one.
Yes.
Alive, life, wow, clear, in the moment only.
Yes.
And there's the visual, the sense of seeing a thought, and there's something else that runs other kind of imagery here, and it's very quick, it's very it's sharp.
Yes.
It's sharp. And then you've got the dualistic network, which looks for meaning and makes sense of things, and you know that waking up here in the morning and there's people around, it's like this part isn't active. It doesn't need to be active. You only need to get up and have a shower.
It's certainly not active during deep sleep.
Absolutely. Not at all.
Not at all.
You see?
No.
So when there's pain, we run everything through this lower part that looks for meaning.
Yes.
Because we have to make sense of everything. We have to understand everything. And it's like the toolkit we have for extrapolating meaning. Oh my God, it's so frigging primitive. It's such a primitive part of us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now you're able to see, I don't care. I'm hearing, drop it. It's like, yes, because we don't need meaning now.
Well, it can't do anything about anything that's meaningful. That's the irony of it.
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
has any real meaning, it can't do anything
it can't
with.
travel with you back to the global. What can it do with seeing the essence of a tree for the first time? What can it do?
What it does, I've noticed, is besides do the comparison contrast thing and then the superego part of it, condemning or applauding, whatever it does, what it does do is it creates fantasies all the time where all of a sudden I'll just be watching this and Richard's talking to Jack and Jack's not there. Or
Okay.
Richard's talking to Joe and Joe's not there. And I'm driving along
Yeah.
and there's another conversation and another conversation.
Yes.
And it's as if it's happening independent of me
Yes.
at this point.
Yes.
And I say, really?
Yes.
Again?
Yes.
And I know I need to be tender with it because it keeps appearing.
Yes.
But it's boring
Yes.
and it's useless.
So,
There's nobody speaking to nobody.
of course.
No, but I didn't get, first I realized, oh my God,
Yeah.
Joe's not here.
No.
So who are you talking to?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it's like nobody talking to Joe.
Yeah. That's right. If an understanding arrives, a relationship will be balanced, whereby they're recognized for their limited capability as a toolkit and honored for that, because they're needed.
Honored and loved for that.
Yeah, of course. It's needed for that.
Okay.
It doesn't need to stop. If your mind needs to take over, if it needs to keep idling.
So if it just creates conversations.
Yeah.
So help me with this one thing then. If it's creating conversations, the directive yesterday and the day before was mind starts, drop it.
Yeah, just
Is it-
don't go into the content of it. Just don't be bothered with it,
Okay.
Don't be bothered with it.
Recognize, oh, there it is. Maybe take a
Yeah.
look and then goodbye.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's just mind doing its thing. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Just let it soften. Let
Okay.
it soften.
And let the Richard identity soften as well, I guess, with it.
Yeah. Because
Richard's dying.
of course.
Yeah, but he knows it now.
Yeah, good. Good.
He knows he's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Richard had a very busy mind. So the whirring might always continue because his mind was where
Oh.
it was at.
I heard wearing blender. I hope not.
Magimix. Okay. Okay, so that whirring, let it, it'll be
So
there
that
for a
just
while.
might be, that just might be an aspect of
It might
of
be
this
an
body
aspect.
mind.
It
Yeah.
might be. It
Yeah.
might be. But it's a tool of what is operating there to
Yeah.
enabling the local perception to function. It's needed.
Yes, it was really needed at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now
It's what saved my
it's
life.
got to get used to retiring. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, there's an awful lot invested in it, and it worked.
Yes.
So it doesn't need to, like, I don't need you now. It's like, okay, just drop the content of it, see it, but don't go into the content of it. It's like, okay, drop
Okay.
it. Scene dropped.
See and drop.
Yeah, yeah.
See through drop.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay.
Gently.
Gently.
With love.
Gently. You see? So that's the mind doing its thing. And then there's these other faculties which are also necessary for functioning. None of them are what you are. Let none of them be your resting place.
Right.